Hey everyone, Angelo here, almost filmmaker in LA, living in my car for 16 months now. Day 7, I believe, of the quarantine in Los Angeles, the order to shelter in place. And people are still ignoring it. They really don't take it seriously. I see groups, sometimes just small groups like 2 friends, going into areas where they blocked off in the park. They just put caution tape around to exercise there, like pull-up bars, touching surfaces other people touched. Playground behind me has been cordoned off with caution tape. People just knocked the tape down, brought their kids there to play. And there are people who don't even know how they had an exposure and are getting this and have horrible, horrible symptoms. And now the first senator have been diagnosed with this infection has just it just happened. Rand Paul, and he voted against relief. He delayed relief for people, for aid, that is, with for this pandemic. And he had lunch with several other politicians the other day, and now they're all thinking about self-quarantining as well. So they're not taking it seriously. Rand Paul's dad, Ron Paul, 6 days ago, put up a message saying that this whole thing was a hoax. And people really aren't getting it. And then I see other groups of people at the park playing basketball, sitting at tables together, 5, 6 old guys at a table together. I'm like, man, that is such a needless risk. People are dying of this, and it's not just because of people not self-quarantining, it's because of our malicious, selfish administration and president who has the attention span of a dog. It's just like whatever's in front of his face, that's what he pays attention to. He's pathologically incapable of planning ahead. I feel bad I went to 99-cents only store today. All the tissue boxes were out. I wanted to get tissues for my allergies, and but I did get, and most of the hand soap was out, the liquid hand soap. I did get a big bottle of liquid hand soap. Maybe I'll just put some in my hand, walk up to a water fountain here, so I won't wash my hands sometimes. But I also got, what else? Mussels. They were out of sardines, and tuna, but they had mussels and bagged chicken, like the tuna bags, pouches. I mean, so I'm like, hey, mussels are good. I got some of those, and I went to the food bank, and I got a bunch of napkins, like 5 packs of napkins, to blow my nose because my allergies are still bad. But I feel bad for those workers. I feel so bad thinking about the people working at the food bank, in the 99-cent only store, and grocery stores, thinking these are such nice people, young and old, and in a few months, some of them may be dead because of their jobs and their interaction with people. It's just sad. And people like to excuse the administration part of it. You're being political right now. When Trump refused to do anything back in January, when he was advised a pandemic could be breaking out, he refused. He's still refusing. He's having states bid against each other for medical supplies, and the federal government is bidding against them, so they can't even get masks everywhere they need. Doctors and nurses are getting sick. They refuse to stop arresting people for bullshit stuff they don't need because they're afraid to show that really all these people being jailed was totally unnecessary. If they let them out and show, oh, we're really not in any more danger from people for a parole violation, for something minor, for drug use or something, that we're really not in any more danger from these people, they're afraid of showing that if they release people from jail, that we've been jailing people for nothing. So as a result, prisoners, immigrants in detention camps, they're extremely likely to get this infection, and it's going to spread so quickly because they have no way to self-quarantine in there. Through jails, through prisons, through immigrant prisons. 50 cops in New York City already have been tested positive. Man, and I'm just trying to and remember and enjoy, these are maybe the last few sort of comfortable moments until this is truly a catastrophe nationwide. But people are ignoring the directions, and it's not just individual people. It's hard to get off work when we don't have paid sick leave, when those sick fucks at McDonald's refuse to give their employees sick leave. Hobby Lobby, their CEO is worth $6.4 billion, refuses to give them sick leave. The government's refusing to step in, the federal government that is, refusing to actually take steps like nationalize the hospitals, which are quickly going broke, nationalize the supply chain for medical supplies. They're refusing to provide free medical care. They easily could. They're giving away trillions and trillions to businesses right now. And they're considering bailing themselves out, but they're not going to do that for regular people. I'm telling you, like, the whole stratification of society is being exposed as just something rich people want to be able to look down on poor people, and for other poor people to say, oh, well, give me some milk. Yes, I'm going to be like you someday. Fuck that poor person. Why are they complaining so much? They're making it political. Trump lied about invoking that Defense Act from 1950 that was signed, saying, yes, we're using it. Whenever he uses that slippery language, you know he's full of shit and lying. He's like, when he was asked about it, he's like, yes, we're using it. Yes, it's taking place right now. He has not invoked that 1950 Defense Act, which would allow him to do things like mobilize factories, to convert them into places where protective gear for hospital workers could be made. So anyways, I'm fucking gaining weight too, man. It sucks. I thought I was barely eating, and I'm eating carbs more because I have a bunch of processed foods in my car. I'm trying to limit my visits to the food bank, and it fucking, like, it messes with your head. Like, you can't think straight with it. Just feel kind of gross. Oh, my allergies. And we don't appear to be any closer to housing homeless people, not putting them in shelters where they can all spread this disease to each other, but in actual homes. What good are all these? You see how fucking selfish rich people are. They're like, no, we need to have our big empty homes on the market. That way we can make money after all this is over. Whatever this is, we're still going to be in a disastrous situation in a year, 2 years. So, excuse me. We better smarten up and start actually looking out for each other and stop trying to flatter ourselves. The other country did it to us. We're under invasion. Fuck, we did it to ourselves. We love blaming other countries, other people, for stuff that rich people here do to us. Stop acting like you're going to become rich if you just keep trying to suck some milk from rich people by praising them. Like, here's an offering of honey, sir. Thank you for what you've done for all of us. No one's safe from this. So you definitely don't want to get sick for anything right now. And unfortunately, there are many people who are sick with cancer, with genetic disorders, with asthma, with diabetes. Disaster. All right, I'm going to keep exercising now. That's all I can do. I'm going to read a book. I don't know what I'm going to do to survive next month. I could get a job. Yeah, warehouses. Man, an old job called me about a warehouse job. I'm like, oh, wow. I applied to them a while ago. They're like, yeah, we're in huge demand right now because they deliver food. So they're like, we're hiring anyone right now. Problem is, they're kind of far away. I don't know where I'd sleep in my car there. I don't know. I would have to rinse myself off with water there still. And it's decent pay, but it's not great pay. And I'm putting myself at greater risk for infection. So what good is getting a job like that if I get seriously sick? I feel bad for the workers here, man. The nice people, young, like kids practically, and old people. I'm thinking some of them may not be around in a few months because we just refuse to get it together. All right, everybody. Learn. Take care of yourselves. But it's not just on all of us. It's people got to speak out. By the way, rent strike, April 1st. A lot of people are talking about it. rent strike, refuse to pay your rent, landlords, they're fucking leeches. They have stuff people need, and they want your money for doing basically shit. So take what's rightfully yours. They can't kick us all out. I understand for people who don't want to do that. Hey, I would have been scared to do that too. But you know, we're gonna see like who really supports one another and who's just in this for themselves right now. I mean, I consider myself lucky, and yet I don't have much, but I'm still trying to, you know, get information out there because people just are not getting it. Even people I know. Don't visit your friends' houses unnecessarily. Don't go to social functions. Don't go to events. We have to all act as if we are infected. All right.